Hey everybody, I am here today with Brett Moyer, a member of our upper school science department, and we're going to talk a little bit about air potato beetles. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh boy, here we go. What is an air potato beetle and why should I be concerned?
This is one of several projects we've been looking at in environmental science.
Okay.
This is an air potato plant.
Okay.
It has a heart-shaped leaf. It looks kind of interesting, but it is invasive, problematic. It will cover the native species and shade them out. So it's something that you could spend a lot of time manually removing, ripping them down, but that's a lot of effort.
Okay. Like where? I mean, is this in marshland? Is this in...
They are various places in Jacksonville, and particularly in our cypress swamp. It's one of the places where probably 10 years ago, it was just a blanket of air potatoes covering the native species. And we learned of another way to control the air potato plants besides the manual removal, and that involves air potato beetles. There we go. The Department of Agriculture has imported these beetles that are from Asia, Nepal in particular. And in 2017, they released a bunch that fed on the leaves themselves. And if you look at this leaf, it might look different than many leaves. What catches your eye?
It's got a bunch of holes.
It's got a bunch of holes. So
it's successful.
2017, we the students released a bunch of this one species.
Okay.
And that species was focused on munching on the leaves of the air potato plant.
Okay.
And that was somewhat successful, as you can see. But this year, we focused on this air potato, which is the reproductive part of the plant. The University of Florida Department of Agriculture, made a second beetle available, and that munches on the air potato itself. This year, we released that, and they are, as we speak, probably laying their eggs or their larvae are munching on this, and between munching on the leaves and munching on this reproductive part, that will slow the progress of this invasive species and give the native species a chance.
All right. So question. History is filled with efforts like these to bring in outside plants, usually animals, to control things.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up dealing with your air potato plant, but you cause a whole other issue because of a new invasive species that comes in. I'm sure there's been work that's been done thinking about that.
Yes, if you come through customs recently, they'll ask you if you're bringing any agricultural products or other things through, so they want to avoid that. The University of Florida spent probably several years researching these in captivity to see, do they have a liking for some endangered species in Florida? They passed all those tests, and they considered it safe enough to release. And they've done so, and it's working so far.
Awesome. And you say we is, I'm imagining this is not just you traipsing through the preserve. You're doing this in class?
The students in Honors Environmental Science released the leaf-eating beetle in 2017, and then this year they released the air potato-eating beetle.
Do they come in little canisters that you...
They come in a styrofoam box with a ice pack from the University of Florida.
So in this styrofoam cooler, this luxury cooler transportation system that they've been able to enjoy, how many of these beetles are in said cooler?
We were able to get 96, and that is a sufficient number to have a critical mass for their population to get established.
Are these provided by Florida, or is there a cost to you? What's the cost per beetle?
It was zero cost. You just had to jump through a few hoops to request them, and they are happy to have people distribute them far and wide so they can do their work.
Very cool. I love the crossover with the University of Florida. I think that's really exciting, and obviously I think that the students would enjoy this because this is a real-world application of something that they could just read about in a textbook, but now they're actually doing something, and they'll be able to see the results. So what's the time frame on putting the beetles into nature and then seeing a result?
I think it's on the order of weeks to get established and then months to really start seeing some control, but they are quick to point out that it's not going to completely eradicate the infestation. It's just going to slow it down.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. I like that. Well, anyway, thanks for coming in today. I appreciate our talk, and thanks to everybody out there for all that you do.